What's up everybody, this is Danny and this is the new HTC One M8. This is the follow-up to the very popular and one of my favorite smartphones of last year, the HTC One, so I could not wait to get my hands on the new M8 model. If you look on the box, it still says HTC One, but this is the all-new HTC One, and this is the AT&T model. And what HTC is trying to do is to bring some of the familiar stuff back, like the Zoe, the HTC Boom Sound, and the Blink feed, but they're adding some new stuff like motion launch and the dual camera. This phone is available for the typical $199 on the 2-year contract in the United States, and it's available on AT&T and Verizon right now, and other carriers will follow suit. So what are we waiting for? Let's see what comes inside this box. This box looks very similar to the HTC One of last year, and it's some nice packaging. Right when you open it, you get the quick start guide where it tells you where all the buttons and the ports are, just in case you're not familiar with this device, and it also has some AT&T information on the back, and it also has some information about this brand new dot view case, which I'm very excited to get. I can't wait to get it, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel for a review of this case. With this phone, you will get HTC Advantage, where they will actually fix your cracked screen for free one time. Very nice of the manufacturer to do that, actually. And there is the HTC One M8 in the gunmetal gray color. This was the only color available at this time for AT&T. So let's see what else comes in the box. There are some warranty stickers right there. Then you get a SIM removal tool so you can put your nano SIM card into your new HTC One. There is the safety and regulatory guide, which we will never look at. There are warranty statements, and you also get these 2 cool green HTC stickers, which I like. And you get the wall plug, the micro USB cable, and you also get some headphones. These are the same headphones that we got with the HTC One in 2013, and they're actually pretty good headphones. So let's go ahead and take a look at the all-new HTC One. Alright, the best part of an unboxing, let's go ahead and take the plastic off this bad boy. And it just wraps around right there, and you just take it right off. And man, let me tell you, this is a beautiful device. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain how nice this device looks. I mean, I've used a ton of phones before, and this I think is a little bit more stunning than the original HTC One. And this gunmetal gray color is very, very nice. You can see how smooth that metal is, and what HTC said is that the original one was 70% metal and this is 90% metal, where the metal actually wraps around the sides and almost to the front of the screen. So very, very nice construction. A huge improvement is on the right side. Now you find a micro SD card slot to augment 32 gigabytes of internal storage with the volume rocker switch, and up top you see this cool Star Trek looking IR panel there, and you also get the power button up top on the right hand this time. And on the other side you get the nano SIM card slot, but look at how big that tray is, doesn't make any sense. And on the bottom you get the 3.5mm headphone jack along with the USB port. On the bottom, you will find one of 2 stereo front-facing speakers, aka Boom Sound, and you will also see the HTC logo, but you can see that there are no longer any capacitive buttons because now the buttons are on screen. Up top, you'll find another speaker, which is the second half of your Boom Sound experience and your earpiece. You also have a 5-megapixel front-facing camera now, and you also have the LED notification light and the appropriate sensors. Now on the back, you will find the dual camera system, where you have a 4 ultra-pixel main camera, and you also have a second sensor that senses depth, and I will show you that later on in the camera demo. The black bands are the antennas that are nicely integrated into the unibody metal construction of the all-new HTC One, and I have to say, I am in love with the construction of this device. On the front, you will see a larger 5-inch 1080p display that is a Super LCD 3 panel, and just like the original HTC One, this looks like the screen to beat this year. My first impressions of this display is a very positive one. It looks very nice. It's not oversaturated. It looks like the colors are fairly accurate, and the brightness output is nice, and the touch sensitivity is also very nice. So I'll let you know in the full review if I think this is one of the best displays of this year, but I don't think you'll be disappointed at all with this display. The all-new One is running on top of Sense 6.0, which they're calling the 6th Sense, on top of Android 4.4, and it's also being powered by the brand new Snapdragon 801 processor with 2GB of RAM and the Adreno 330 graphics. So this is naturally very snappy, and I will show you more of the software later. But for now, let's have some fun and do some device comparisons to see how big the One is versus some of the other phones out there. And this is the Nexus 5, and you can see how much thicker that the red Nexus 5 is next to the M8. So you can get a good sense of how thin the M8 is and how tall it is. You can see how it is a little bit taller than the Nexus 5. And this is the Nokia Lumia Icon, which also has a 5-inch display, but the Icon is way thicker in comparison to the One. But if you look at the size of it, you can just see how much taller that the HTC One M8 is compared to the Icon. Now let's take out the LG G Flex. Now the G Flex looks like a beast compared to this, so it's kind of not fair because the G Flex has a huge display, but you can see what it looks like in comparison to. And then let's have a little fun here and bring out the Nokia X, which is a 4-inch display. And man, the Nokia X looks like a brick compared to it, but it just is so much smaller. So it's a really nice in-between device for me. And even though I felt like it was a little tall, it fit perfectly in the pocket. So I think portability here is going to be a go on the new HTC One. One of my dislikes about the original One was where the power button was placed, and now they moved it to the right side, which feels a little bit more natural for me, but the actual button itself is not as tactile as I would like it to be. But you have gestures now. You double tap on the screen and now you can wake the screen. This is the best way for me to unlock. This is my favorite way ever since the LG G2, so I'm so glad that they moved this over to the all-new One. Other shortcuts include swiping to the left and getting to your home screen. If you double tap and hold and swipe up, then you will unlock the phone completely. So that's a great way to unlock the screen. And then if you swipe down, then you will get to the voice calling. So when you do these gestures, you will see a little tutorial there to kind of show you what's going on. So don't worry about that. And you can speak and voice dial from here. Let me show you this one more time. Swipe down, and there is the voice calling. So you can say call whoever, and then it will actually show you the options to call. So pretty nifty, pretty handy to add for Sense 6.0. This phone is a little tall for one-handed use, but if you have pretty big hands, you're going to be able to use it with one hand. And what's awesome once again about this phone is that it comes preloaded with Android 4.4 KitKat. So you're going to get the latest Android experience right out of the box with the all-new One. A lot of people don't like HTC Sense, but actually I don't mind it. Ever since 5.0, I think they've made a lot of great improvements. And here, like on multitasking, how you can kill all the recent apps, I know that's something so minor, but it really makes the experience much better. What's great is if you don't like blink feed, then you can get rid of it altogether now. And I like how they integrated the software buttons now right onto the screen. I think it works better than the capacitive, but since the capacitive buttons aren't there anymore, why do we have this giant bezel and this giant chin on there? It could have been a little bit better and more compact if they got rid of that bezel. What do you guys think? To be honest, that's probably my biggest gripe about the hardware, is that chin. If you're wondering how much more powerful the Snapdragon 801 processor is, actually on benchmarks, it didn't produce good numbers for me at all. Actually, I've gotten better numbers on the Snapdragon 800. Other people have gotten better benchmarks, but don't worry about these benchmarks because trust me, this phone is super fast. Using it throughout the day, it is a very smooth experience. Actually, Sense flies on this new hardware. The screen is beautiful, and I can't wait to use it a little bit more and let you know in the full review if this performance stays this way. And the 2600 milliamp battery, it's lasted pretty good for me so far, so I can't wait to put the battery through the test to see if it lasts all day or not, and see if it is good as what HTC claims it to be. I can't help but circle back to the design and the build quality of this thing. I mean, I've just been staring at it the whole time. I mean, it's beautiful. I know that sounds weird to talk about a phone like that, but it is just a gorgeous piece of machinery. And if you look at it, it's just nice and thin. The curved back feels so good in the hand. It's a little bit slippery though. I can see it being a little bit slippery, but man, this is one of the most beautiful pieces of technology I've ever seen. And yes, it's true that the boom sound speakers sound slightly better than the original one, and I love playing video games on it, full rich sound. I'll let you know in the full review and show you some gaming demos very soon, so stay tuned to the channel. So let's go ahead and take a look at this dual camera, because this is one of the most touted features in the press event, so I just wanted to show you what this dual camera can do. First, let's take a look at the software, because they have made some improvements. Now, there is an auto mode. You can change your ISO, you can change your white balance and your exposure value, and you can go into the settings now and also get full manual mode. And what's awesome is you can have a preset of your manual exactly how you like it, and then go back to that, which I like. You can actually save that manual setting, and you have camera, video, Zoe camera, selfie mode, I don't know why, and you have dual capture where you can capture from the front and back cameras, which is nice. So this is just some catch up that HTC is doing, but the shutter speed on this camera is very quick, so that's very impressive. Now I'm going to show you why there are two camera sensors on the back. When you take a picture, you can go into edit now and you have a bunch of duo effects. And the one that you probably really want to use the most is this U focus, which you can change the focus of your shot after the fact. So you can see that the foreground now is sharp, and when I hit the background, now that is sharp. But if you look at this dual camera thing, sometimes it doesn't work correctly. See how the phone is kind of blurry up top, and the software stuff is not working completely correct. So hopefully they push out a software update to this. And I took another picture here and it works better in this condition. So some pictures work well, some pictures do not, but you can see that the Nokia X now is in focus, and if you tap the background, then that also goes into focus. So that's pretty cool. And now you have this weird 3D effect too, because it does like a stereoscopic thing, but it just looks weird. I mean, look at that. That's kind of creepy, right? Yeah, it is. I don't think you'll use this as much, but hey, it's something to kind of show off. What is hilarious or maybe disappointing about this phone is that the front-facing camera is a higher resolution than the main back camera. It's a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, so selfies, people are gonna love it because it looks pretty high resolution so far. I will definitely do a further testing of the front-facing camera to see what the quality's like, and of course the 1080p video as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So what do you guys think about the all-new HTC One M8? Am I a little too excited for it? I don't think so, because I think this is one of the best built phones that I've seen in a long time, and I just cannot wait to put it through its paces. So is this phone on your radar? Are you thinking about buying this? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you want to see in the full review as well. And you can also hit me up on Twitter at SuperScientific for those requests, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another video like this one and comparison videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.